My name is Craig Turrell and I'm a workshop supervisor.
My name is Harlan Holding and I'm a multi-site manager for Wilko's.
Day-to-day service, repair and maintenance of the machines, looking after the workshop, ensuring everyone has allocated work, being line manager to the normal plant engineers, basically the smooth running of the plant department.
I currently run 3 stores in the heart of London, so basically I'm accountable for all the financial aspects of the operation, all team members, health and safety, everything else that comes with it, and I manage through 3 assistant managers.
It varies. Sometimes things happen, things break down a spur in a moment, and we've got to make big decisions on the spot. But if we can organise it, we do tend to get together to make big decisions if we know they're coming, if we have a chance to do that.
So you assess the situation then before you go into decision making?
Yeah, sometimes you don't have a lot of time to make a decision, but yeah, if we can plan it, we do assess it as much as we can.
Have you ever made decisions like fast that ended up with a negative outcome?
Yeah, certain times if you have a major piece of equipment out on site breaking down and you've got to decide what way to work it to get it going, it doesn't always come as planned, but yeah, sometimes.
Different situations, there'll be times when, and it'll also be time constraints and everything else, so sometimes a decision will be made by me that the team have to follow. We may have tight deadlines, so that's where I just have to lead from the front and they have to follow. There'll be other times where I will pass the decision down to help and support people's development so I can test their thought process and what they want to do. Other times it'll be done as a group so that I can pull everyone in. So if everyone is feeling that they're making a decision, they'll buy into it a little bit more at the same time. But there'll be times when it'll be a decision I'm not too sure on, where I'll go and get advice externally from either my peers or my bosses if I'm not sure.
I'd like to think level-headed, given the quality of time. If you can have time to make a decision, if that's a luxury that you've got, then level-headed is definitely better.
I think it completely depends on the situation at hand.
Yeah.
Whether it's from a trading side of things where we can be a little bit impulsive and we can try new things to be a little bit aspirational and inspirational. However, depending on the severity of it, whether it's regarding around people development, whether it's around health and safety, whether it's a legal implication and things that we want to push boundaries on, that's when we need to be level-headed a little bit.
We try to keep calm and sort things out, as it doesn't always go to plan. But yeah, you always try to have a backup plan if something does go wrong.
I think in the past, if things didn't go to plan, I was probably a little bit temperamental and my toys would come out the pram. Nowadays, I think with experience, you can kind of sit back now, restructure, regroup, and then rethink about where did we go wrong. And for me, the biggest thing that people have to do in management is look at themselves. Because if we don't look at ourselves, we'll never see where we're going wrong or where the situation is going wrong. It isn't always us, but if we don't look at what we're doing, then we're never going to improve.
I started off as a plant mechanic and it just sort of progressed as people retired into this position.
So it was a clear path?
I didn't intend it to be. I intended to be just a normal plant mechanic, but that's how it developed.
Do you think that was a positive thing?
Yeah, I think so. It was a bit of a natural progression.
I went into management at the age of 19
Okay.
with Sainsbury's.
That's quite young.
Yeah, and I made many mistakes in the first 18 months, 2 years, when you believe that being a manager, you are the be-all and end-all, but that quickly brings you down, and you get a lot of grounding very quickly. So I've been at Wilko's now for 18 years, and I've been a store manager for 16 years.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was positive. Slow progression, but yeah, positive.
So you don't regret not trying other things out and just sticking to the same thing?
No, I enjoy what I do. I can't see myself doing anything other than this. It's what I've been trained to do. It's what I know best. And there's quite a big comfort zone in keeping on what I'm doing.
You said your first managerial position was at 19,
Yeah,
and you said you made a lot of mistakes then.
yeah.
What sort of things did you do wrong?
I think your perception is that when you become a manager, that you are a level above people.
Yeah.
And at the age of 19, with youth on my side, I tended to believe that I was this main thing, that I'd made it, everyone works for me. And I had probably this real arrogance about me, believing I'd made it. Now you see it as people start to come through the ranks, it's something that you can stop straight away. I'm no better than anyone else. The only thing that's different between me and every single team member that works for me, I get more responsibility than they do. I'm just a team member.
So you think you're equal, you'll work together, so it's like just one big team then?
Without my team, and it sounds really corny, but without them, I've got nobody. So I need them as much as they need me. We are just one big team. And as I say, the only difference that I have is the accountability that sits with me.
Okay. So when you was first a manager back in Sainsbury's, do you feel you made not a lot of enemies, but like clashed with people a lot of sort of like...
Now, I probably made enemies. I probably upset a lot more people than I pleased.
Yeah.
And I probably spent my 18 months as a manager working for Sainsbury's before I left. I probably made more wrong decisions, more mistakes than I probably have done in about the last 10 years. And it's a kind of a grounding. I didn't have anybody there at that point to be able to sort of drag me up and correct me.
Yeah.
And I was probably allowed to get away with a little bit too much.
Okay.
So,
But do you think that, looking back on it now, because contrasting how it was then and how you are now, do you think that was a good thing?
I think so.
way,
I think everybody learns. I think if I look back on it now, I'd probably cringe. But I think it wasn't all my fault. I think where we have buddy systems now in place for those people to give some honest truth and to help and develop, we didn't have the strongest training program, so there was no foundation for people. So it probably was the right thing that I went and made all my mistakes early on, but probably showed a little bit of character that I still carried on, and I'm still in it now.
Would you say to someone who's about 19 that has a career, who has a plan, like an end result, do you think it's best for them to do something similar to you, where they work their way up, or do you think it's best for them to try different things out, or jump headfirst into the ideal goal?
I think it's as individual as people are. Some people work best if they've got one set mind and motivated by one school of thought. Other people can try different things and prosper from that. I think it is really individual. I wouldn't say there's any stereotypical way of doing it. It is as individual as people, I reckon.
Okay. What advice would you give to people who are held back through fear of failing and making big decisions that could impact not only their career but a company or a bigger plan?
Ooh. Don't know really. I suppose you've got to go with your gut feeling and be happy in what you do, making decisions. Some people don't do well under stress or problem solving, so yeah, it's go with your gut feeling and be happy in what you do.
If you had any advice to give to someone aspiring to be in a managerial position, would you say it's best for them to work their way up or to go in head first at a young age?
I always say you need to understand the job that you're asking your team of people to do. So the better foundation you've got and the better grounding that you've got, the easier it will be. People develop at different paces. Some people pick things up very, very quickly. Some people can become very knowledgeable. Some people are great with people. It's all of those different skill bases. But you need to understand the job that you're asking people to do.
Okay. Also, last question. With people, especially people around 19 years old, facing failures and setbacks in their career, working their way up and trying something and not succeeding, what advice would you give to them about that? Like, just, would you say if there's a risk they should take it, or do you reckon they should sort of steer away from things and be more sensible?
Be more sensible, 19-year-olds. Where I've got 19-year-olds that work for me, I probably have to be a little bit more patient and then probably a little bit more stern with people. At 19, do people necessarily know what they want to do? If they make mistakes along the way, it's making sure that you don't take it so seriously. We all make mistakes along the way, and it's just trying to get people to understand that I think it builds character, because I will get things wrong still now, even on the day-to-day basis, but the things that you potentially knock you down will make you stronger to move forward.